Here we go with some DCSS. Bcrawl fork. We are still doing the Joseph cosplay. I'm going to finish it tonight in this comfy late night stream. To refresh, we are not allowed to train any weapons other than staves. We are allowed to train fighting. Technically we could train slings too under the rules, but I'm not doing that. I'm not allowed to cast anything other than regen. I have to stick with Gozag, I have to do Tomb, and I have to leave with 10,000 gold, and I think that's all the restrictions. Oh, I'm not allowed to use shields, of course. Which has been a big pain in my ass this game. Now, when we left off, we had really just like fumbled our way through slime. And I say fumbled because if I look up MR+, we really haven't found anything that's remotely usable. So I've been doing this on racial MR only, which is pretty wild. If this was a streak game, I think I very seriously would consider using the ring mail of magic resistance, even though I have a +10 plate armor right now. Just in terms of streak ability, in terms of win rate, I really do think that having MR is the most important thing. But if I was streaking, I wouldn't be... if I was playing for win rate, we wouldn't be subjecting ourselves to all these challenges, you know? But yeah, you might see a very weird game if this was a streak game, because you would probably see me... well, let's see. You'd probably have seen me in this chainmail to start with, because we found this relatively early. And then by now I would have, I guess, swapped to ringmail +2. And you would even probably see me training short bows at this point, and using this stupid thing. Really weird situation, I have to say. But it happens. It's just really rare to get to this point in the game and have no usable... Well, it's usable, but no particularly good MR, you know. It's all in like slots that we just don't want to use. Not to complain though. I mean, if you look at my gear, it's amazing. You know, our resistances other than MR are wonderful, and our obvious RAC is incredible. It's a very beefy character, but I tell you, it could die really easily, just from lack of MR, just from the unpleasantness of getting owned by Paralyze or something. Alrighty, we haven't done... Have we done Crypt? Yeah, we did Crypt. It's very short in Bcrawl. I don't think this character can do Vaults 5. Or Vaults 3, I should say. I mean, we can step in here and take a look. Maybe do a little stair dancing, perhaps. Cannot be paralyzed in Bcrawl from an Ogre Mage. They don't have that spell. Actually, I don't remember if they do in mainline. I think they do. I'd have to check. They do have Confused, but that's okay. Let's just go up. So, yeah, I can do my little stair dancing shenanigans, but this could go bad really quickly. I may just have to... Honestly, like, if I had to say what is the most optimal thing for us to do in this scenario, it's probably to go to Depths and then keep going to Abyss. And then probably just, like, farm Abyss for a while. But that's a little bit boring. Maybe I will do it, just maybe not yet. Also, I remember we have this food problem. No rations for sale. I'd have to burn more gold. I don't even have that much gold. 2,400. We're not going to be able to jump up and down for much longer. In fact, the next time will be horribly dangerous because Vault Warden can block the door, and T-Mons can simply constrict me. So yeah, we're taking the somewhat more dangerous route, basically, for the sake of getting this character into tip-top shape a little bit sooner. Hey, that's a Scroll of Acquirement. Hello. I don't know when we found that. It's not going to tell me because it's a consumable. Interesting. It must have been during the last stream. Alrighty. So this is new style acquirement. I was kind of hoping that Gary Burton / B8 Joth had kept the old style acquirement in Bcrawl. Obviously, we don't want the quarterstaff. We don't want the plate mail. The ring is okay, but I don't really want that either. Manual transmutations is useless because we're not allowed to train more than one spell, and we've already chosen regenerate. It's either gold or rations or wand of enslavement. It's got to be rations, I think. Because the 8 rations are actually worth more than the 700 gold. We didn't roll very high for the gold, unfortunately. I can't complain about having more rations, though. It's become an actual issue in this run. Okie doke. Let's see. What do we want to do? So if I go down, which, by the way, as we went up, it appears that they locked the door, so I can reasonably expect this will be locked when I come back down. So what we could do is we could read Telly and pop down and just kind of hope that it works out for us. But I tell you, with no MR, or with only racial MR, which is human MR, which is really bad, I don't think I have the cojones to do that to myself, unfortunately. Let's oops. Let's kill this guy that we left behind a while back. Okay. Going into depths. There's the abyss portal immediately. How many floors does this have? It has 5 like in normal. DCSS, alright. You can mass confusion me so easily. Right, those are derived undead, so they won't go up the stairs. And this is Bcrawl, so we just got teleported from the staircase. That's okay. We have a lot of digging, so we're going to make this really, really easy. Barring an ancient lich, we should be okay. Hello! 3 shops. This could be good for our MR situation. I do not see any MR here. I don't really see much of anything that I want here. Gadget Boutique, I see a lot of very good things that I would love to purchase, but probably won't. We already have Lightning Rod. We'll just mark stuff down for things I'd like to get. I want to save my money, though. Do I find Bcrawl to be more difficult in the early and mid-game? Yes. I think that Bcrawl, there's a couple of things that Bcrawl does really well. I used to complain about the staircase tally, but I think it keeps the mid-game a lot more interesting than in mainline. I think that the early game is kind of a crapshoot because of the fact that there are more enemies on each floor. I do think that Bcrawl suffers a little bit worse than mainline in some ways in the very, very early game. However, it doesn't have the true BS of early game shafts, which is definitely a point in its favor. It is possible to start getting teleported by, I think, D3 from the staircases. So if it was me, if I was running BHOth's Fork, I would probably only make that stair tally kick in around D5. But yeah, I do think the mid-game is harder, and I think that is a good thing for the most part. Because most characters, by the time you hit lair, you've made mistakes if you can't just like cruise to the end of the game in mainline, and I think that's maybe a little bit less the case in Bcrawl. And I have yet to feel like the game was truly unfair to me in mid-game. I also think that the game is harder in the late game as well, and like the mid-late game, whatever you want to call lair branches, because for example, what he's done to water nymphs, he has all these little buffs that he's made. Really interesting buffs that I guess would feel unfair if you don't know how to handle them. But they're really just like super deadly things that you have to handle really well, like a water nymph with Primal Wave is just wild, but it's you can deal with it. You just have to kill it really fast and maybe use resources, or avoid that branch if you can't handle it. Finally, there is pro magic, actually. It's kind of weird to be like so happy about a simple pro magic ring, but we have to buy it. There's no question about it, really. We still have full resistances, all green. not like max resistances, but we have everything covered except for our core. So that ring is just, it's just fluff, really. In fact, I'm just going to drop it, to be honest with you. Okay. We're keeping that one, the one on the bottom for Senv, and we're keeping the one above it for our core. Just checking out my inventory, you know? Should be able to tab this stuff. Okay, so farming Abyss is certainly an option, although Bcrawl, it attempts to stop you from doing that, in a manner of speaking. Because it will dump you into a lower floor of Abyss every time you go into it. We've already been in there once or twice due to being abyssed by elvish casters in the Elven Vaults, or the Elven Halls, whatever it's called. So, very, very, very quickly, you will find yourself just going to Abyss 5 every time you go in. So, farming is certainly still doable, but it's not the trivial joke that it is in mainline, you know. You have to have a character that can take a bit of punishment. What the fuck is going... What? Oh, okay. They have summon Hellbeast now. Sometimes. That's it's pretty rough. I'm gonna burn another digging, so I don't get bolted through these guys, because they're immune to fire, so they'll happily do bolt of fire. Oh man, this is really annoying. They're all like miniature Garyons, man. I'm a little apprehensive about this, but we're in a much better place now that we have a little bit of MR. I haven't really seen any paralyzed threats lately. I do think that BHOth has taken out a number of those. Trying not to tab too much like a madman, but seems like we can get away with it a bit. Okay, wacky little vault that has fire all over the place, nothing interesting. There is the gateway to a ziggurat. We can go in there and get some free stuff. Well, relatively free, but I don't want to go yet. I'd like to be a little stronger. The more floors I can do, the better, right? If I could gather up a big old pile of gold, I'd be pretty happy. Hello! Hello, Mr. Dickhead. Mr. Dickhead. Lich. Okay, he doesn't have paralyzed, good. Oops. Can liches have paralyzed in Bcrawl? Maybe not. Maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, that's all damage spells except for the banish down there. Well, maybe I don't need to be as worried about MR and Bcrawl. Tabbing way too fast, yeah, for sure. Okay, we know what book he's got, even though it, like... So there's this funny little bug in both Bcrawl and in mainline and every other DCSS fork. If you, for whatever reason, see somebody cast a spell, and that spell moves you in some way, or makes it so you can't see the thing that cast it, it won't actually fix it to where it tells you what book they have. Obviously, he just force slams me, so we know he has the bottom book, which can be as dangerous as Iron Shot, but I'm going to melee him anyway. Man, I'm mildly annoyed that this is a troll Earth Mage, because I want to make a kill hole. Maybe I'll, yeah, I'll do this. Okay, this is fine. I mainly wanted to kill the... we can tab all this stuff. I just wanted to kill the Flayed Ghost, because that was gonna create an issue, you know? What do we training? We're training fighting right now. That's pretty good. Believe it or not, I want more dodging, even though I'm in plate. If I could get above 20 evasion, that'd be pretty cool. You might think, like, oh, your defenses are good enough, 51 AC, but believe me, it's always better to have a nice balance, you know? So this is interesting. Looks like we have to go down and then back up if we want to get into that elevator vault. This thing here. What's the chances? 12%. 12% mass confuse. Actually, you know what? Okay, Vampire Knights still have Paralyze. I was going to check because it's like, it's interesting that a lot of things don't have Paralyze anymore. Yeah, he changed Ancient Liches too. I mean, in one sense, they've gotten more dangerous because they have more damage spells, right? But the thing I'm usually worried about is the Paralyze if I don't have my MR under control, you know? But yeah, I like this change. It makes the game less of a gear check when there is less stuff that paralyzes you. Mainline, of course, is going in the exact opposite direction because those people don't know how to develop a game. Apparently there's like a paralyzing enemy in Swamp these days called a Finstrider Witch. That'll be interesting. I've been roped into participating into in the next tournament to some degree, so I will... Oops, this isn't where I want to be. Shit. I'll be streaking a bit, probably adding to my world record streak. We're teleporting out of this. I was talking and not paying attention, didn't realize we were going into the elevator vault, which is not where I wanted to be. Don't want to lure more enemies into an unknown area that is very tight. Good thing to bring out what EV are we supposed to have by layer. I don't worry too much about specific numbers of what I'm supposed to have by a particular point because different characters are going to have different things. Like, your Spriggan is not going to have like a billion, is not going to have a billion AC by layer, for example. Likewise, my Gargoyle's probably not going to have very good EV by layer. It just kind of depends. You have to make decisions based on, you know, how strong is my character right now? What things is he allowed to do? Can he melee a Hydra? Probably not. If he can, then certain strategies are open to you. If he can't, certain strategies are not. Did he buff these guys? I mean, very ugly things are always tough, but I feel like we're getting hit harder than we normally do. Hey, Eversir, what's up, buddy? I will say this, there is really no good reason to have less than 10 evasion, or even less than 15 for the most part. A lot of people think, well, I'm playing this Gargoyle, I'm just going to stack as much AC as I possibly can, and oh my god, I'm so cool, I can't die. And then they die, because they get LCS'd or something. You know, some kind of spell that completely ignores GDR, and they're like, oh my god, my AC did nothing, how could this happen? You know, and I'll look at their skills, and I'll look and I'll see that they haven't trained dodging at all, and I'm like, why? You know, I realize that, you know, you may have a bad aptitude in it or whatever, but like the experience is so low to get your dodging up to 5 or even 10 on most characters, there's like no reason not to do it, you know? I think I just risked a really nasty paralyze there. You know, we could have gotten paralyzed next to that zombie juggernaut. That would have not been good. Okay, we got another brand weapon. If I wanted to be cheeky, we could brand our Lajatong twice. Okay, let's put on our core. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. Oh, uh-oh. This is really bad. We could get paralyzed. I didn't even see him. I'm gonna silence and go up. It's just, I don't want to get paralyzed next to a golden dragon, you know? There's only a 5% chance, but you gotta treat that like it's 100 if you want to win consistently. That might mean using resources when it doesn't necessarily make sense to, you know, you might think it doesn't make sense to use a resource. Like I just used a very limited resource, silence, but I tell you, I'd rather spend one of those than risk death. And I had sort of memed myself into a bad situation because I didn't even see the Vampire Knight. In fact, there was a couple turns there where I could have gotten paralyzed. Granted, like I said, this is not a streak game, so I'm playing a little bit more fast and loose than I otherwise would be, you know. With an RC file that doesn't even warn me about stuff like I'm used to. Three brand weapons. Hello. Well, I want the Scroll of Vulnerability. Why is our inventory so full? I kind of need to hold on to Amulet of Rage. Buckler of Resistance. Nope, not for me today. Not allowed. Forbidden. Okay. There's nothing to enchant. Let's use the brand weapon. Okay, that's what I wanted. That's ideal. That will do extra damage to everything. Cool. Flaming was probably better versus a lot of enemies, you know, but slicing, if something's resistant to fire, I don't have to worry about getting less damage, you know. Pretty good luck, yeah. I was really only willing to do that once I had 3, though. The flaming was certainly doable. Okay, so now we have a Vampire Knight, but that's okay, because he's by himself. Effectively by himself, because we have him in a hallway. Oh, what am I doing? I just took off my Pro Magic to get Senv. I don't want that. Okay, there we go. Really hope I find some more MR plus, man. 4 Winds Amulet or something. In an ideal case, perhaps. Hello, you can send me to the Abyss, probably. Yep, that looks unchanged from mainline. I don't think she has Poison Arrow or Fireball in mainline, but... Oh, that's a clown. But they're not the rigged broken clowns, are they? Nevertheless, let's, Okay, what? Do they have Dig? Yeah, they do have Dig, okay. And they have Silence. I will stare dance, I don't even care, man. Gosh, they are kind of dangerous though, man. Like, anything with silence. Anything with silence can be really spooky. Hope I don't get paralyzed, but being paralyzed with a single Sphinx on the table is not a big deal. Come on, Bcrawl, you wanted to teleport me more often. Depth's teleports would not be super pleasant, I would have to admit. It's funny because, like, the thing that keeps running through my head is, like, why am I taking so much damage? Like, I just feel like I'm getting, sort of chip damage down way more than I usually do. And the answer is obvious. It's that I'm not using a shield. It really is like night and day, you know? Just completely different game without a shield. Because I would be rolling through this stuff taking almost no damage at all if I had a shield. Hello, Ring of Protection from Magic. That's pretty cool. We'll keep that as a swap. Ordinarily, on a streak game, I probably would just wear the MR at all times. But I think I'm going to keep it as a swap in this case, especially since this is Bcrawl and there are less MR threats, although I think even if I was streaking at Bcrawl I would probably do that, but it's more convenient for me to leave it off, so I will in this case. I might pop it back on when I roll into vaults, though. I don't know. Would be an insta-death if I go into vaults 3, which is equivalent to vaults 5 in mainline. And if I were to get immediately paralyzed, that would be real bad. Okay, crossbow manual, don't need that. A bunch of books. Completely useless to me. Just tab through all this stuff. Alrighty. Man, we have burned through depths really quickly. There's a lot of experience in depths, by the way. Tabbing a little harder than I should be. Holy shit. Oh, hello. Oh, poop. She has Firestorm in Bcrawl. Wow, that is 8d30 damage. Let me just take a little sip of this tea and consider what I'm going to do here. 8, 16, 24... Yeah, she can one-shot me. No, she can do 120 damage. Gets halved because I do have RF+. She can two-shot me. She could one-shot me if I didn't have RF. Silent Scroll would stop that. It wouldn't stop the Searing Breath. I only have one Silent Scroll. I'd like to save it if I can. Does Bcrawl have... hold on. Okay. Does Bcrawl have... Nope, Bcrawl doesn't have that. I was thinking of mainline, where instead of getting elementals, you get the waterlogged, and it's like a silence effect. Which I like the elementals better, but in this case, the waterlogged would be superior as a way to cause silence without using a resource. Let's go ahead and cast Regen. The Searing Blast hits your water elemental with 3 exclamation points at the bottom there. Your water elemental is burned terribly. Oh no. Okay. What's the speed on a Zetahua? Not fast. I think that means speed 10. We don't have a seam or a beam or a meme here. No info bot. Well, we could Phantom Mirror her. That could be kind of cute. She is not immune to her own fire, just very resistant. Shouldn't be necessary though. Do we have blink? Yeah, we have a lot of blinks, so I can get out if things go really badly. Is Phantom Mirror, does it shatter or chance to break? Which depends on, okay, it's a chance to break in Bcrawl. Let's make a box. We destroy one of our boxes immediately. How unpleasant. Coming here was your last mistake, Zetahua roars. Not getting a whole lot of damage on her, and I really don't want to be in melee unless I have her silenced. Maybe coming here was my last mistake. Okay, yeah, we're going to the staircase. Let's do the smart thing. Let's stop doing the dumb thing. Let's drop some shit. She has Paralyze in mainline. I guess she doesn't have it here. No need for Wand of Disintegrate anymore. That's over. Pick up the Ring of Fire. Any other sources of RF+? I guess that's it, really. Technically I could pop on Wormbane, but that's a little goofy. Oh, what just happened? Oh, it's a Lurking Horror. So we're not wearing the ring yet, but we will. Probably should use like a might potion or something, but I'd like to do it without resources if I can. I'm convinced we could melee her to death if we had at least RF++. But maybe not. I mean, maybe I should not treat something that can cast Firestorm as a joke, yeah? Maybe I should treat Cerebov in dragon form as a real threat. And stop memeing. Maybe it just calls for a use of resources, you know? Oh, another +10 plate. We have regen and stealth on ours. This has, this has stats on it. Oh me, oh my. I think that if that wasn't 1,500 gold, I'd really want to do it, but as it stands, I'm trying to stack tons of coins. Tons of coins. I wonder how much my evasion would go up from that. 3 strength and 4 dex. I bet you we get at least a point or 2. And then the int would actually be meaningful. You know, 6 int is like a spell level, basically. Give us more spell power on regen. Can never have too much spell power on regen. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh, hold on. Without armor on, my evasion's 25. Okay, we gained 3 points of evasion from that. 18 to 21. That's really not bad. I think that was worth it. Oh, hello. Let's pop on the old fire ring. Not a moment too soon. As he firestorms my dumbass. Let's go up and rest this off. Let's go down. Come on over here, Mr. Spriggan. Oh, he does not give a shit. He just murders the Spriggan Air Mage. Hello, Philippe. How you doing, man? Yeah, this is like the lengthiest run of all time, I guess. This risk-reward calculus foolishness is a blast. What are you talking about? With regards to fighting Zatahua? Yeah, I'm gonna probably use some resources against her. I know I should. But like, there was no way for me to die in the scenario I just did, walking up and down the stairs, due to the fact that I had RF++. She could only do about 100 damage to me, maybe less. Okay, here we go. Pop on fire. Okay, she melees. Remember, this is Bcrawl, Zatahua, so we're looking at... Hey, what? Wait a minute. How did that happen? Oh, the code's messed up. Check it out. Check it out. This changes from 8D30 to 8D31 sometimes, and then if you go to it other times... Whoops, I didn't mean to move. Sometimes the red color goes away. There's some fuckiness going on. Funkiness, rather, going on in the code to bring up the XV. Huh. I have to report that to BHOth. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can get away with just an agility and a might. You look delicious, Zatahua Rumbles. Immune to nets. That's what I thought. She's very big. Has to do with rounding. You don't know why I wouldn't round down? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we got her. We probably could have meleeed her in one, but it was just a matter of, like, there's only so many firestorms I can take, even with RF++. So, I would have liked to have not used really good resources. I mean, potions of might are essentially like magic I win buttons, you know? Same with haste, to a lesser degree agility, which doesn't exist in mainline anymore. And so you really don't want to use those unless you absolutely have to. Of course, if it's the difference between losing and not losing, then choice is pretty obvious, yeah? Now, we could have just left Zatahua to roam this floor, but I didn't want to leave you know, a mine for me to step on my way up during the orb run, did I? Imagine she shows up and you gotta deal with the Pan Lord at the same time. Sounds horrid. Speaking of horrid, getting a little bit owned here. Okay, we're okay. I'm gonna rest this off. Guess who's not casting regen who should be? As always. Maybe I should have made my one spell a spell that I can remember to cast, yeah. If I get paralyzed here, it's no big deal. It's just Yaktars. Get strength. Oh, hello! Yeah, agility doesn't exist in mainline. They're making some pretty dumbass changes these days, aren't they? 22% mass confuse. I think the first thing we want to do is pop on a little bit of that old MR. No, it was replaced by stabbing, and now they've replaced stabbing with something even dumber, which is called the Potion of Attraction, which kind of just like sucks enemies towards you for a while, which is essentially, it might as well be called Potion of Suicide. There's basically no reason you would want to cast that in the early game, or drink that in the early game. You know, unless you have a floor that is completely clear of enemies, at which point, why do you need to pull something to you? I mean, I could see a few narrow scenarios where you'd want it, but for the most part, it just sounds really, really dumb. You know what? Forget this. We can own this guy. Come on, acid. That's not acid. That's the one thing that doesn't affect him. Try again. Alright, that'll do. I'm just gonna melee him. Not bad. What you got there? Cursed chainmail +0? No thanks. I saw some of those buffs on it and I was like, wow, that might be worth using, but not at +0. Not at +0. Okay, that's depths. Okay, places we can go. Remember that by the rules of the challenge I have to do Tomb at some point. We still have Vaults 3 to do, which is somewhat less suicidal now that we have MR, but really not great on account of the fact that we can't have MR and Fire Resist at the same time. And I still don't have as much MR as I'd like to have. If I look at an Ancient Lich... Oh, wait, that doesn't work anymore. Well, yeah, it does. He has Petrify, doesn't have Paralyze and Bcrawl, but I can look at the Petrify. Still a 1% chance of that. Although, like I was saying, I guess... Yeah, I don't know, maybe in Bcrawl I can afford to not do this because I don't know what Paralyzed threats even exist in Vaults 5. Surely, like, Great Orb, maybe? That's with one ring equipped, so with the other I'd be immune, probably. Interesting. Interesting decisions to make here. So yeah, we can go dick around in Abyss for a while. We can go into Zot right now, which I don't particularly want to do. We can go finish out Vaults. Again, if I was playing well and truly optimally, Abyss would certainly be the choice. We could go into Hell real quick, maybe pick up the Horn of Geryon. I am sort of tempted to do that. I assume that still exists in Bcrawl. Hey, another Scroll of Acquirement. Hello! Oh, this is a real interesting choice. Manual of Dodging. Shit. Okay, so 10 rations, 1,400 gold, or a Manual of Dodging. Everything else is crap for this character. Scattershot would be fun too, but not worth a acquirement compared to those things. Wow. Wow, interesting choices. You know, I'm greedy. I'm gonna have to go for the dodging. You can't throw a manual of dodging in my face and expect me not to take it. You know, just a free pile of experience, really. Geryon looks the same. And guess what we got? We got the good layout, baby. And I have regen, so I have the spell that makes this a lot more tolerable. So we really have the best of all worlds, don't we? I can just stand here like a cheesy gentleman. Regen every once in a while. Apparently get corroded somehow, it's no good. We've got all kinds of resistances, so there's nothing in here that's really going to ruin my day. There's no, God, what's his name? There's no, Francis? Is that? No, that's the other guy. The little skull guy. Murray. There's no Murray this time, so no torment. You cannot carry that many items. Boo! Alright, because of the manual. What shall I drop? I wish Bcrawl would give me some more inventory, inventory spots. It's like, I'll just drop Brilliance. Even though it's old school Brilliance, so it's still good. We're really only casting regen, and I don't need a spell power boost that much, so. Okay, we can just O-tab through the rest of this. Pretty sure. Yeah, we acquired a dodging manual. Had a choice between that and 10 rations and 1400 gold. So I picked the manual because I'm greedy. Even though the gold was probably the correct choice in terms of having more bribes. I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to go through that system. The code is a mess from what I remember. The inventory code. You wouldn't think it would be, but I mean, more power to him, dude. Single-handedly developing a fork for DCSS is no small task, and he's done quite a bit. Same to Bcrawl, by the way, even though I haven't really played his fork on stream. I know for a fact he's put an enormous amount of work into it, and overhauled it to actually a more significant degree than BHOth, even because Bcrawl really gets into... you'd have to play it to see it, I guess, but it's a very different game than DCSS in a lot of ways. He's done a lot of radical stuff to it, which is not a complaint, really. I mean, a lot of it looks really, really fun. Mounts, yeah, like mounts are completely alien to DCSS. There's like items that can mess with your spells, like turn them into chaos spells, I think. Really wild and crazy stuff. I want to stream that at some point. The only reason I haven't is because nobody's requested it, and I have other things in my request queue. And I felt like playing FTL. What am I doing? So we have Horn of Geryon. I don't want to go into any of the hells. In fact, I'm probably never going to go into any of the hells on this character. I think that Bcrawl forces you to go in and then never come out until you get the runes. So yes, it is, Mr. Ostrom. Although I assume it's early where you are, my Ruski friend. Ruskier. Oh, you still didn't wake up? What? What time is it over there? Let's see, where do we want to go? So we need to do Vaults 3 still. We need to do Tomb as per the rules. And I could still go to Abyss to farm a bit. We have 5,708 gold. Alright, I'm gonna... It's time to be a little bit of a madman. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Read Telly. Go down. Go back up. Okay, I didn't expect for that to work, but that's okay. I burned a Telly, but that's fine. We got rid of some stuff at the landing for relatively free for the cost of one Telly scroll. I was expecting to be constricted immediately. Maybe I should just continue going down and trying to go back up. There's a warden and he just didn't cast his thing. I'm gonna drink Agi and go down. Okay, he locked it. Alright, we'll read Telly now. What am I doing? Region's not up. Several turns that should have been regenning that I wasn't. 18% Sentinels marked. Let's just kill him quickly. Yeah, if you read Tele before going down the stairs, it only takes about a turn or two for it to trigger. I was fully expecting, when I pressed to go back up, I was fully expecting to not actually end up upstairs, but to instead teleport mid-ascent, because it takes a minimum of 3 turns to tele, but sometimes it rolls much longer than that. Another fun thing you can do with the tele-delay is, so teleports are somewhat delayed in Zot, right? So if you want to be a little cheeky, you can read tele, wait exactly 7 turns, and then pick up the orb. Like read tele on the orb tile, and so that way you get a nice head start on the orb run, basically. I do that pretty much every single game if I have a tele to spare. Oh yeah, yeah, I've gotten myself killed in Bcrawl, relying on teleport traps to behave the way they do in mainline, which they don't. If there's enemies around, they just blink you. Man. What character was that I lost? I mean, granted, if I had been playing Streak style, that wouldn't have happened. I take a lot of risks when I'm not streaking. Oh, they just blink you, period, even if enemies aren't around? It was a Che character. Yeah. First of all, I wouldn't have been playing a Che character, but if I was, I would have probably farmed a whole lot more. Do I want Moon Troll armor? Hell no. Well, maybe. Technically, I'm not getting any resistances from this plate. Let's see, 53.25. Hold on, that's Contam armor, so swapping is going to be at a cost. Statueless world, yeah. I know what I was doing. Yeah, I was playing like a purposeful challenge run. I was just like trying to make it as annoying as possible for myself. Playing a Che character that shouldn't be a Che character, basically. Kind of fun. Bcrawl Zot ended up defeating me that day. Just from my own carelessness. Let's see, 3 strength, int 6, dex 4. Yeah, I don't think the defenses are going to be good enough in the Moon Troll armor. It would be kind of nice to have the extra regen and the R-Core. But I've already got Spirit Shield from the amulet, so it's whatever. Already doing better than Kilmatronics on his Octopode Hunter, just because you're better at finding statue form. Well, statue form will win you the game. If you use it right. It can also lose you the game if you use it wrong. Man, ordinarily I'd have to be terrified of a Lich, but, you know, with this much MR. But, they don't paralyze in Bcrawl, so... The Wizard can, which is why you saw me swap to my other magic resist real quick. I'm gonna be really happy when I find something that lets me have magic resist at a proper level at all times without swapping. Look at how kind this layout has been to me. These sort of quasi-kill holes. Let's kill the Titan before we move to a better location. Notifications were disabled again? What are you talking about? Oh shit, what am I doing? Oh no! Oh no. I almost got paralyzed. This is what can happen in vaults, man. Floating eye-shaped shifter. They turn into a shifter, then boom, they just paralyze you right afterwards. Yeah, sorry you missed streams, NG, man. You can check the VODs, I guess. I really haven't been streaming that much, but you have missed a couple, I think. Octopode should have dragon form plus kraken form, or kraken form. I always mispronounce that word for some reason. Yeah, no, I agree. What they should do is they should change dragon form and instead call it, make it a spell called Apotheosis, right? And then if you have a particular species that has some kind of super form, instead of becoming a dragon, you, what the hell? Okay. Goliath frog, huh? Instead of becoming a dragon, you become a kraken if you're an octopode, or maybe as a merfolk, you become a kraken. Upgrade all cards in your hand. Yeah, it upgrades all the cards in your hand. Actually, I think Apotheosis upgrades all the cards in your deck. You're thinking of that one Ironclad spell. Alright, this gentleman over here is summoning, so we're going to paralyze him. Wow, have we been marked? Yeah, we were marked, okay. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, why is the whole floor coming to own me? Yeah, like a centaur could become a, I don't know, a giant horse. I guess it's not very clever. Horn would be good here, but I want to... Well, I wanted to kill this Convoker, and hopefully I was going to kill the other one that was approaching, but that didn't happen for me, did it? So yes, I should use the Horn. You would think at 20 evocations, something better than one hostile, one non-hostile would happen, but nope. Alright, forget it. We're going to do this the old-fashioned way by using the fog, or the clouds, rather. Okay, let's try to kill him. Let's acid blast him. He's summoning, so let's try to take him out. And down he goes. Is it summoning deck? Well, that's the thing, is the Horn can absolutely make hostile beasts. Also, I just made a big mistake there. There was a guy that could paralyze me, and I was just kind of casually fighting. It was probably only like 5%, but 4%. We are starving right now. We don't want to be starving next to the Juggernaut. Okay, 6% paralyzed next to a Juggernaut. This is like the definition of hubris. Really, really stupid. So we're going to swap to MR so we can't be paralyzed. I mean, because if I got paralyzed here, you're just dead. You're just dead, basically. Maybe not at 49 AC and plate mail, but still. Another great reason why you really, if you can, you'd like to have full MR at all times. 5% is still 1 in 20. Well, I consider it 100%. You know, you gotta play like it's 100%. Well, we've been memed a bit here. I was really hoping to do my nice little stair dancing thing, and instead all the wardens on the level are just chilling in the center of the map. So we used our Wand of Clouds. Also, thank you, Versari. I appreciate that, by the way. Nice comments. I'm going to scattershot real quick just to clean this up a bit. I'm going to Ice Blast just to get more damage. I'd like to kill that Sphinx if I can from afar. I used an acid. If it misses some, it'll hit the Sphinx. Okay, yeah, it did that. Sphinx is dead. Happens all the time, Mr. Ostrom. It's a big issue. Okay, we have a few allies now. Get immunity to miscast. I've thought about that kind of thing as a solution for certain things in DCSS. Alright, we're going to acid like this. I'm going to press dot here. I think we killed one. Yeah, we killed one Vault Warden, but not the other. I am now going to Ice Blast. Yeah, I'm marked. That's one of the reasons so much crap is coming. Okay, the Ice Blast didn't do it for me. We are going to, nevertheless, blast through our own guy. Yep. Got him. Go over here, go up the hatch. Pretty cool stuff. Again, not regenerating as much as I should be. Whoops. Got teleported, that's okay. Oh, hello, Juggy. Not too afraid of Juggy when I can't be paralyzed. I mean, I can melee him. It's a bit of a brawl, but I win, you know? Oh yeah, Mark on V5 is super dangerous, and that's why it exists on V5. It's a fun little challenge. God, I wish we had Blink. Not allowed to cast it, though. Blink would be really good here. The spell, not the scroll. I don't want to use my scrolls. What you're supposed to do in V5, and what I've been neglecting to do out of an abundance of hubris, is that I should be just sort of chilling in this corner here, pulling things back to it. But this character is strong enough that I can almost throw caution to the wind. Maybe not when there's a flayed ghost around. You gotta know what your character can handle, Quad 9s. You try this shit on a different character and you're gonna have some serious issues. But we have 49 AC. Oh shit, that's not right. Okay, I didn't quite do this right. Let's use acid and debuff them. With their AC down, we kill them very quickly in melee. Whoops. Cosplaying as an NPC, and an NPC wouldn't hide in the corner, so you say it's in character. Ah, yes, I have to roleplay. What is Joseph's personality, would you say? I know he's a mercenary, right? I don't remember the kinds of things he says, though. What his lines are like. Not the most memorable guy in the game, like Donald. As a merc, you would try to survive? Maybe. What if you're like really greedy? You know, get the job done at any cost. So you can get fat paid to the point where you take wild and crazy risks in the pursuit of a paycheck. I will make the swamp great again. Based. Well, he was probably looking for NPCs that were like really easy to turn into a challenge, and if you think about it, he's a good one because, you know, you have a choice of 2 weapons, and then he does cast a little bit, so you can give the players a chance to, you know, you can put some limitations there. Let's look at the real Joseph. Granted, this is Bcrawl, so it might be slightly different. Oh, does he not cast spells? I thought he cast spells in Bcrawl. Huh. Well, that's interesting that they let you cast it all then, even though he doesn't have any magic. Yeah, he is really bland, isn't he? When I think about Joseph, the only thing I really think of is like, oh no, I have to spend the next 15 minutes draining him of sling bullets by going up and down stairs. Yeah, Harold is who I was thinking of. Okay. There is nothing on V5 that I want. Holy poop. How unpleasant. Yeah, we didn't find any cool MR items. I mean, there's the there's the Moon Troll leather armor, but I don't really want to take off my +10 plate for that, even if I do get our core all the time. I mean, we could, but it would be a pretty goofy choice. The lady who leads a group of Death Knights? You mean the one who leads the group of Hell Knights? That's, what, Margaret? Marjorie. Yeah. There should be a Death Knight unique. It's too bad that there's not one. Alright, where do we want to go? Not too many options left. It's really just Zot, Tomb, or Abyss, or one of the Hells, which again is not really something we want to do in Bcrawl. Or a Ziggurat. Octopode unique would be cool. Octopode of Rue, who sacrificed 1 tentacle for the ultimate power. Okay, we could do this indefinitely, I think. Granted, we're only on Abyss 2. Demon Spawn unique? No. There is a Demigod unique, comically. I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm in +10 plate with stats on it, and I don't particularly need the R-Core, you know, because I have a swap for it. I mean, it is what it is. I would go, I mean, I don't want to test it because of the Stark and Tam on this, but I have a suspicion that I would go, but you know what? We can look. Hold on. Okay, so base armor of 10 plus 10 is 20. I'm just going to assume I'm getting 5 AC from skill here. So let's say 25. I would drop a solid 25 AC probably. And then I would gain... I would gain 8 AC. So it'd be, yeah, probably the bad choice, really. A bad choice, rather. I've actually, I mean, it's funny because, like, I had to put deep thought into it because I've had that choice in many games. Believe it or not, for some reason, Moon Troll Leather Armor just likes to show up a ton. That's an acquirement scroll. That is the second Vampiric Lodgetong that's been offered to me. Okay, this is either going to be box or rations or gold. I still think the rations... Normally I would not take rations over gold, but Bcrawl puts me in such a place that the price of shops is always going up, and I'm always getting hungrier and hungrier. So, because melee costs more hunger in Bcrawl than in mainline. So as a result, I actually prioritize the rations over the gold unless I get an absolute ton of gold offered to me. What's the chances here? 11%. That's no good. Let's do a swap. So I can't be perma-confused. This is starting to get ugly. So yeah, will I hang out in Abyss and make this a super, depending on your opinion, either comfy or boring stream? What to do? We certainly need the gold. Just bail for the moment. I feel like this character can safely do Zot now. Not so much Tomb. Yeah, yeah, we're probably good. I have 3 bribes available. Get 16k gold. Well, Tomb will give me some amount of gold. The nature of the challenge is probably going to force me to bribe Abyss, or excuse me, farm Abyss. Let me do Zot. We'll just do Zot real quick. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. Okay. Welcome to Zot. What? 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 BHOth, what the hell? What the hell, damn guy? What are you doing to me, BHOth, giving these guys dig and a form of BVC? You gotta be shitting me. He's not fooling around, is he? He's not fooling around. I mean, that's good. That's good because Draconians typically are a joke in mainline, even when they tried to like make them more powerful by giving them Hellfire for some reason. Like, maybe it's the fact that they can't see invisible, or it's just the fact that they go down so easily. By the time you're fighting them, if you're having a problem with them, your character is like woefully unprepared usually for Zot, you know, if the Draconians are an issue. So if you buff them in more ways, I think that's probably a good thing, but that is real spooky. That is real spooky for them to just turn off kill holes. Suddenly they're a force multiplier for all the other horrible stuff in this branch. Kind of cool, honestly. Also, there's these guys. Yeah, okay, this is fine. We can just walk up to him. Mr. Orb Demon. Okay, Mr. Ostrom, see you in a moment. Maybe I shouldn't tab like so much of a madman with my finger held down on the button. Which is much scarier when you don't have your, you know, typically when I'm streaking I have this special RC file that stops me at like 90% HP, so I cannot meme myself into a death. Hello, friend. Petrify... Paralyzed. They have paralyzed. Okay. Oh, no. 2 MR is not enough. I still have 1% paralyzed chance here. This is not good. Let's lamp. Let's kill him as fast as we possibly can. Okay, that was a Force Lance. We know his book. Okay, no MR. No MR threat. We'll put our cool ring back on. Come on, man. Ice Blast, maybe? Nope. Just got a melee for the win, I guess. Taking out the easy-to-kill things first. This thing might dodge me for a while. Alrighty, not bad. Really spicy Zot 1, but we've made it work. And we're getting fat paid, man. We're above 10,000. Technically, if we were to ascend right now, we would have passed the challenge. Trust me, we're going to use most of this in Tomb. We're going to be, essentially we're going to be abusing the hell out of Bribe. I might try to ninja it, just to make this a little more spicy. Instead of full clearing Tomb. But we'll see. We don't exactly have stealth. And we don't exactly have enough blink to make that work. Remember, it's safe for me to go upstairs as long as no enemies are around. So going upstairs to catch your breath is not bad. Worst case scenario, you get teleported on the way down, and by then you have full HP, so... something to keep in mind in Bcrawl. One spell should have been C-Blink. I mean, maybe. The idea was to not have to train too much in the way of skills to get the spell online and to get a ton of value out of it. I think Regen was a pretty good choice, but comically C-Blink might have been better. Although at that point, if I'm doing something strictly for Tomb, I just get Necromutation. What? What? Shield of the Gong, huh? This game is just like mocking me. Doubly so, actually. It just gave me a Fustibaloost that I could have trained with MR Plus on it, and then it gives me Shield of the Gong, which I'm not allowed to use, which is probably one of my favorite items in the game. Both of which have MR on them, by the way. Oh, man. Cucked. Oh, well. Gong would solve almost all my issues right now. Could you imagine, like, this character's already pretty strong. Could you imagine him with Shield of the Gong? Just a beefcake. VHoff would be mad to know you didn't go slings. Well, I'm forced into using Gozag, and I really didn't want to use a ranged weapon without Okawaru to give me the good ammo. I mean, I could have used Rocks Forever, I guess, but Or Sarah asks me, what is my least favorite monster slash boss? To answer that question, I'm probably gonna need a little more context. Like my least favorite in what way? Like, do I find it to be challenging? Do I think it's poorly designed? What do you mean exactly? Because I mean, if I had to say, in terms of bad design, it would have to be Killer Clowns in mainline. Man, I really let myself get owned here a bit. Let's drink a curing to get that rot off. I'm still slow, but that's okay. Like, Killer Clowns actually kind of fit both of those categories because in mainline, not in Bcrawl, because there's just the RNG of it is really stupid because they can polymorph you, but then they're paired with enemies like Ancient Liches, which can paralyze you, so they can turn you into a bat, and then in the exact same turn, the Lich can act and then proceed to paralyze you because all your MR items are gone except for your amulet. And then because you're in bat form, you have no AC and you have no evasion because you're paralyzed, so you're just taking full damage from everything basically. And so for the next 7 or so turns, your character is just getting, fucked until it's dead. And, this is, like, not really that uncommon of a sequence of events, I don't think, to the point where, like, it has happened, I believe. Somebody got teleported into a lung, and the character just instantly died. So, it's incredibly dumb. So I'd have to say Neo Clowns are probably the worst designed monster in all of DCSS ever. The new versions that Gamma Funk put in. If you made them not polymorph, they would be significantly less intolerable. There would still be some issues with them, but the polymorph is just it's too much. Some honorable mentions: Shock Serpents in Snake. I wouldn't necessarily call them poorly designed, but I would say that they can do way more damage than you might expect because they act faster than the player and they can double zap. So in effect, if you look at a Shock Serpent, it looks not that bad, right? Okay, 13, 26, 39 damage. That's harsh, but that's okay. You can live through that. But what's 39 times 4? 4, 8, 12, 16. So they can actually do 160 damage per turn if they get 2 actions and you don't have Arlek. Not likely for them to do exactly that much because they'd have to max roll on 4 rolls, but the amount of damage output on a Shock Serpent is more than most characters can really handle when they get to Snake. Now, I'm not saying that they're overpowered. I'm not really saying that they're badly designed. I'm not even saying they should be changed. But it's a highly dangerous monster you got to be aware of. It's got some weaknesses, Hexes really take them out quickly. It's a good reason to burn your resistance potions, Just a lot of stuff you can do about them. I don't think they're unfair, per se. I just think that they will get you killed if you're not paying attention. That was horseshit. This blink was no good. Oh, whoa, what am I doing? That is... Hello! Hello, Tiamat. Hello, dickhead, Draconian Shifter that blinked me right into Tiamat. Let's read Telly. Oh. We're constricted? What the fuck is constricting me? Oh, it must be... Oh, this is some Bcrawl nonsense. What is this? Attempting to read a scroll while constricted might waste it. What's the percentage chance? Come on, BHL, tell me a chance. Don't be like mainline. I assume it's 50%. All right, well, let's haste first because now I know that exists. I don't like that change at all. That's a little bit BS. Okay, let's regen. Okay, we have 2 heal wounds. Not as much as I'd like. You always break free on blink now? But there's a blink scroll. Then it said that it could be wasted. Do you mean blink spell? This is really bad with Tiamat next to me, but we made the right choice by hasting first, because that can't fail, and now we get lots of actions. Next thing we need to do is probably enslave one of these fellas. There's a purple draconian next to me. He could turn off all my buffs. That's very bad, so... Just kidding. The first thing we do is scatter shot and kill that motherfucker. Goodbye. Okay. Now we're going to even the odds a bit. I don't want to be constricted anymore. Let's get the knight under my control. I'm no longer constricted. I figured he was the one constricting me. Alrighty. Let's step out of my own fire. I can stop taking damage from that every turn. I've already got haste up. I might as well drink a might and try to smash Tiamat to death, I suppose. Let's enslave this guy, though. Fail? Actually, what am I doing? Yeah, some MO action. Take a step away. Take a step away. Okay. Dang. I can't begin to tell you how much I hate Draconian shifters. They can just kind of ruin your day. Your green Draconian shifter is being constricted. Ah! Wow, and then they blinked the monk next to me when I tried to dig my way out of this. Refresh the regen. You wouldn't think I'm hasted with how often these guys are acting, but I sure am. Uh-huh. No cloud wand. Let's keep aciding. Tiamat is so hard to kill, man, if you don't have certain tools. Just really beefy. So now we're going to have a little hot Tiamat on Tiamat action. Oh no, it looks like my Tiamat got blinked. I guess I'll just have to make another Tiamat. Wait, what the? Oh no, I have two hostile Tiamats next to me. How did that happen? Did one of these things explode and damage it? Well, that's not good. This is not what I wanted to happen at all. Shit. 3d20 Quicksilver Bolt? Ah. Okay, dig. What color are you right now? Acid Splash, that's okay. I don't have Arc Horror, but that's okay. Did not mean to use my sack of spiders there, but that's alright. What I wanted to do was use my Phantom Mirror again. Please just give me a minute so I can regen. Christ, which one is the copy? It's that one, because it has the negative on it. That's the real Tiamat. She's almost dead. Just a lot of damage coming in, man. It's a lot of damage. Every turn that I don't take damage is good because my regen is giving me power. Will the real Tiamat please stand up? Yes, indeed. Okay, this is Lightning Tiamat right now, not immune to cold, so we'll Ice Blast and boom! Tiamat is dead. Get fucked, boy. These copies are going to disappear. I don't really care to fight them. There's no good reason for me to do that. In fact, something must have changed with the formula because... before, something with a lot of MR would just not last very long. On the other hand, I have a ton of evocations, so maybe that's why she's lasting forever as a clone, as a mirror. We've run into a lot of spicy uniques today. I gotta tell you that that blink constrict wombo combo with Tiamat was a very interesting way to be introduced to that mechanic. Glad this character has defenses, man. But yeah, I do not like that mechanic where you can just get constricted and there's like no guaranteed way out of it, even with resource use. That's the whole point of resources in my mind, is to give you a guaranteed way out of bad situations that is limited. We got the dragon skin cloak, something I typically don't like using because it doesn't kick in until you've already gotten hit with the thing that hits you. So having the two having the 2 AC would be nice, but I'd rather just have poison resistance all the time, to be honest with you. It's not really another good source of our poise, I don't think. Wormbane, of course, but this challenge doesn't really allow me to use Wormbane, and yeah, as you say, Philippe, kind of hard to use Blink spell with this challenge. I mean, you could choose that as your spell. Maybe I should have. Yeah, maybe I should have. We may come back for the Dragon Skin Cloak. I don't know. Could you imagine fighting golden dragons without resist poison? It would be a pretty disastrous time, perhaps. This is kind of wacky, what's going on. Oh, okay. I thought this was like a separated floor, but no, it's just a wonky entrance. Okay. By the way, we have acquirement. Wow, we've been like turbo cucked. The most cucked acquirement of all time award 2011. Or 2021 rather. Living 10 years in the past over here. I guess I take the 21 charges of digging. Gosh, this is terrible. The gold's nothing. The rations are kind of worth it. Do I need them? Not really. Actually, the digging is worthless to me now that I think about it. It's only going to be good on the orb run and in this exact floor, and then after that point, there's no more. So either I take the rations or the gold pieces. I'm just going to take the rations. Save myself. I mean, I probably have too many rations at this point, but I know for a fact I'll never need to buy a ration shop again. So I'm good. Encouraged you to scum abyss more. Oh no. Okay, we got the old double trap. I think this happened to me last time. I did this. Oh no. Let's get away from this crap. Whoa. 11% sleep. That's another reason to have MR in here, man. Can we just melee an orb guardian? Or an orb of fire, rather? The answer is yes. We just crushed his ass. We have Berserkitis, by the way. Have no fear. That's going away right now, actually. Alright, I'll accept this. I think we go ahead and do Tomb. But just for a little extra power. Perma telly trap. I'd rather have that, even if it is the Bcrawl tellies. Just for a little extra power. It's ziggurat time. Zig 3. Pandemonium Lord. With Haunt. And an Ice Fiend that can torment me. Only 5 potions of Lignify. that's a good horn. How's your lightning resist, actually? There is not. Good. Really didn't want to get tormented there. Okay, we had a chance to roll a good ring. We got a kind of crappy ring. Although I guess Bcrawl's really done it to me because there is a good reason to carry around plus blink items at this point, you know? So I suppose I will carry that thing. Remember the Draconian Transmuter run? Oh, yes. Rather have Zot traps than see that happen again. Well, that was just a matter of me not really fully understanding how that stuff works. But yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's a good point. If you're trying to get away, the Zot trap will be better as long as it doesn't paralyze or teleport you. Half the time it does nothing, so the odds are kind of in your favor, you know? To some degree. I don't like rolling the dice, but if you have to. Wow. Okay. Okay. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to use a blink. I don't want to use a blink. Hold up, let's wear this. Let's evoke blink. No. No. Okay, this'll do. Alright, there we go. I mean, that's just the orange crystal statue being a dickhead is what that was. Summoning like the exact best group of things. You know, there's almost nothing else that it could have summoned that would have ruined my day quite that hard. Other than a shard, or excuse me, a acid shrike pack. We got 3 scrolls of blinking, and I didn't use any. So we have 6 now. Pretty cool, man. I guess I'm already being paid back for wearing this ring, man. Or taking it with me, anyway. Other than that ring, though, the Ziggurat has not been terribly kind to me. Uh-oh. Oh, we get to find out how well we do against Tomb, gentlemen. This is the only guy who casts Torment, so we just kill him. Just kidding. Really easy for. Should I be using Undead Hunter, I wonder? Would that be a goofy choice? How fast do we attack with this thing? 1.3. Ah, too slow. And we're not allowed to train maces. We're allowed to use maces. We are not allowed to train maces. This is incredibly dangerous. But I have lots of evocables, so I wasn't too worried even with the Hell Sentinel, with the Clown. If this was mainline, I would have been way more worried. Yeah, we're just going to drop it. It attacks way too slow. You're completely right. Completely right. I didn't need to burn an ammo here. But I'll be damned if it wasn't fun as hell. Hello, Stormworm. What's up, man? Manual of Axes. Not allowed to use that. Let's try to get to Zig 10. Okay, I'll wear the R-Core. Nice, man. Got a nice relaxing stream for you here. Okay, let's try not to get paralyzed here. I don't have the MR, so we just kill the Great Orb instantly, you know? Slime floors can be a little bit of a problem sometimes in Ziggurats. Not too bad, but they can be. Okay, so we'll go ahead and... This will be Undead Hunter's final resting place, I suppose. There's got to be some rings or something that I don't need. I guess I'll drop the Ring of Fire. Well, that's an interesting amulet. It's a real interesting amulet. BHOth was telling me that regen amulets are buffed in his in this version. However, I don't think I'm gonna keep that because the RN++ is really meaningful where I'm going. That was a good lamp. Well, with all this, with all these evocations, man, my lamp just goes everywhere, basically. But yeah, Spirit Shield is also meaningful. All right, let's Did I pick up a different amulet? Am I blind? I picked up something else that I don't want to be holding. Ring of Synth. Okay, I want this Pro Magic. I don't want to drop that. Okay, Ring of Shadows. We don't need it. Just kind of cute that we found that other unrand. I'm gonna do one more floor. I should be able to tap through this stuff. Probably shouldn't do it quite so recklessly, but whatever. It's just swamp stuff. How bad could it be? Potion of Experience, hell yeah. Seems good. That seems worthless compared to what I've got. Okie dokie. It's going to turn on staves, and we'll just train everything from this point forward. This game doesn't really, this challenge doesn't really afford me too much wiggle room to do too many different things with this character at this point. Okay, this is getting dangerous. I think we bail. Although, we have 7 scrolls of blinking now, so if I wanted to, we could keep going, and it would be relatively safe as long as I was willing to burn those. I feel okay about getting out of here and going to Tomb. I think that we can, without any more Abyss farming, I think that we can make it through Tomb if the bribes are relatively kind to me. I'm going to need to be careful on Tomb 1 especially, though, because the damn Sphinxes... yeah, 6% para if I don't swap. And I can't just keep the MR plus on at all times because one of my negative resistances is from that. Okay, Tomb is W. It is not T. Temple is T. So we're not going to bribe on Tomb 1. It's the moment of truth and judgment right here. We're not going to bribe on Tomb 1. Due to the fact... I should have swapped. Due to the fact that Tomb 1 is pretty easy outside of these Sphinxes for this particular character. Man, what am I doing? I should swap. I just didn't even... It's like, hey guys, Sphinxes are dangerous. That's why I'm not going to do anything about them. Somehow I got marked. I'm not sure how that happened. Things aren't really rushing out to meet me, though. How curious. Hello, friend. Let's explore the rest of the floor before we open up that door. Easy stuff. Alrighty. Well, that was a very tiny grouping of things. If it keeps being that kind to me, I'll be happy. Yeah, shit. Mummy Priest. I wish I could have infinite fog somehow. Scarf of Clouds actually exists. Maybe I should go put that on. Poison's not going to be a problem here, and being able to make clouds would be pretty handy. Or slow. I gotta kill this thing. That's where the big damage would be coming from. Outside of Torment. Oh, come on, man. Alright, I gotta be careful. Let's acid. I'm not slow anymore, which is cool. Just kidding. Tutankhamun over here is blocking my acid blast. What a dick. Okay, we could die here easily. If we got tormented and iron shotted in the same turn, we'd be dead. I've spent a couple turns messing around here, so I really shouldn't have done that. Let's do this though, which I was hoping would instantly kill him, and it did. That was not the 100% safe play, I have to admit. What I'm doing right now is a little bit goofy. What we should be doing, let me show you what we should be doing. Did you know these walls were diggable? They are. Oh no, Greater Mummy, how scary. Not so scary. Not so scary when you have them in a kill hole. That's how you don't get memed by the very first floor, which really shouldn't be a problem. The real fun starts on floor 2. Amulet of Inaccuracy that has MR plus on it. God, this game hates me. Alright, this is where things get real stupid. Because we gotta go down, we're gonna get ambushed by a whole bunch of crap. I feel like either I've gotten unlucky or Bcrawl has become, has limited the number of hastes and stuff that you get. Because I feel like the game has been more stingy to me than almost every game I've ever played of DCSS. Which is a good thing, by the way. This is not a complaint. I think that I think DCSS is usually way too generous with its consumables throughout the game. Yeah, we could go get the cloud. We could go get the clouds. I'm not sure if our poise does anything about miasma or not. I don't think it helps you. I don't think it helps you at all. The AC certainly helps me. Hey, crap, what do I drop? I need all of this. All of these things are good to have. I can drop enslavement at this point. We have paralysis. But yeah, clouds is probably useful. I could just use fog to some degree because I have 7 of them, but well, let's see. The question is, do I want to bribe floor 2? Or do I want to be super, super clever? I think I want to be super, super clever. I'm going to read Telly. I'm going to go down. Okay. This is the wide open floor. Let's read Magic Mapping immediately. We get teleported immediately. I didn't bribe, so none of those things are bribable anymore. I think that if I lignify, I can melee all this crap. Particularly if I lignify and then I might... And I do it from this particular corner. Please don't torment me. Please don't torment me. Based. I didn't get tormented. Let's see if we can make this work. Don't forget, I have super lamp. You dumbass mummies. Oh shit. It's over. Tree form doesn't last very long. As long as we don't get tormented by killing these guardian mummies, we'll be okay. As I proceed to get tormented. That was a smaller ambush than I'm used to. Got a little lucky rolling the ambush there. Yeah, let's acid. Take this guy out. Did we kill him? No, we killed him. We got tormented from the death curse. I'll burn one more lignify, although I'd really like to have more. I feel, you know, it's strange. It's really strange because it's usually you have more lignify than you know what to do with. You know, typically I'll have like 12 by the time I'm trying to do shenanigans like this, which is one of the reasons why I think that DCSS, Bcrawl might have fiddled with the numbers a bit. Mazanaka says, good morning or midnight. Could you do a short review in comparison to Bcrawl as compared to mainline DCSS? Some obvious differences, but while playing it myself, I probably missed a lot of things, especially if there's any difference in number calculation side. Well, I wouldn't say that, like, any of the calculations have changed. Some of the monsters have different spell sets, which is meaningful. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of little things here and there. Probably the most meaningful change that you'll notice is twofold. The first big meaningful change that you'll notice is that you'll notice that the floors are different. If I do Control O, you'll see that there are less floors. There's more experience and enemies in those floors. The lair branches like Shoals have 3 instead of 4 floors. Dungeon has 12 instead of 15. Vaults has 3 instead of 5. All the Hells are only 2 floors, which is probably the best change anybody has ever made in a fork ever. Things like that. There's a lot more monsters jam-packed into those floors. Sometimes it's more difficult. And then on top of that, there are some changes to... Well, hold on, let me not get into extended yet. So basically there's a different number of floors. Then the other change that you'll notice throughout the game just playing it is that there are no explore traps, and instead you can get teleported anytime that you go upstairs, or excuse me, you can get teleported anytime you go downstairs, and if you try to go upstairs with monsters around you, there's a chance you'll get teleported and remain on that floor. So you're trading explore traps for that, which I think is actually a very good change, except I don't like it in the early game. Other than that, I think it makes the game a whole lot more exciting. No more shafts, which is huge. You know. So those are probably the 2 biggest ones. If you want to do extended, there's some pretty significant changes there. You cannot go into Pandemonium at level 27. You have to do Pandemonium before level 27, which forces you to be a little bit like not at your maximum power, you know, when you're going through that. And as far as Hell goes, it's a whole lot shorter, like I said, 2 floors each. But once you go into one of the Hells, you can't leave until you've picked up the rune. So I personally like both of... Well, I like the Hell change. I'm not a big fan of the Pandemonium change, really. Not because it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. I just think it's... unfortunately, DCSS makes it a bit awkward. What the fuck am I doing? I don't have regen up. Trying to talk and play at the same time. It just screws me so much, man. One of these days, I'll learn to do that. It's not your fault. Even when I'm not talking, I forget to cast regen. Regen's pretty important right now with the shenanigans that I'm trying to do, though. This Frost Giant Skeleton is just smashing through my sad little tree AC. And so will the Death Scarabs, actually. Gosh. What to do? Oh, we have no holy word at all. That's cute. Let's paralyze here and fail. I would really like to cancel out of this to stop being slow, but there's no guarantee that I'll actually do anything. I'm gonna potion petition. What? Oh, right, I changed the from A to P. Berserk Rage. I'm forced to Berserk Rage. That's kind of lame. I didn't want that at all. Boo. Okay. We'll make it work. This might kill me. This is incredibly bad, basically. 544 HP. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if I actually had that much HP? 10, 17, 25. Would you please walk up to me, you dickhead, so I can kill you? Oh, for Jesus. Okay. Heal wounds. Christ. I will haste. Please don't kill me. Good. Fast plus slow. I'm no longer in tree form. This looks like a good time to blink. Man, I really just did some madman plays today. Regen. Okay, I don't think I can die even if I get tormented. Goodbye. What if Bcrawl had teleported me there? Yeah. All of that in the pursuit of not wasting 3,000 gold on a bribe, and I ended up having to potion petition anyway and burn most of my lignifies. Maybe I made a bad choice. A very based stair telly. Yeah, that would have been interesting. We've already cleared most of the stuff on the floor, unless it sent me to the second section, which would be just truly, truly based, huh? What am I doing? Drink curing, I'm slow. Yeah, finally. It didn't want to let me melee that greater mummy without being in tree form. I was like, I'll just save myself a lignify, we'll kill him fast, right? I'm lucky I didn't get tormented more. Yeah, this character doesn't really have any of the tools in his toolbox required to safely do Tomb. He's got Gozag, which is really something, but he's not allowed to cast anything other than regen, so as a result, he is denied things like I can't silence to turn off the greater mummies, I can't necromutation, of course. You can still silence greater mummies, right? Yeah. But basically, the optimal thing to do there would have been to bribe as I came in. I have been roped into helping my bro Man, who is who for a while was basically we had a gentleman's agreement with regards to the streaks, and then I ended up deciding I wanted to do some tutorials and stuff, so I have a few more streaks than him, but he's probably the only player who I believe has the ability to go toe-to-toe with me in terms of like indefinitely streaking hard combos. He has like a 50-something streak, and I have a 54 streak, and he talked me into being on his team for the tournament, so I don't think I'm going to play too much, but what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to add to my world record streak, because Elliptic, the guy who originally had it, is gunning to get it back. And unfortunately, he's playing a lot of easy combos this time, but nevertheless, I'd like to protect the streak, so it's like, if a tournament's on, then I might as well. I mean, yeah, it's 51. He just kind of stopped getting the wins, but I assure you, he could probably go as long as he wanted to, you know. He's got what it takes. Let's drop Torment. I've been carrying that around, and that's just like a lump of coal in my inventory. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's go up. Oh, Jesus. See, like, this is the problem, is, like, I only have so many lignifies. If I had infinite lignifies, this would be really cool. And, you know, oh, God. it's Bcrawl. I could, if I wanted to, learn tree form. Exactly, Rogue Shenanigans. Yes. I am exactly as, those are my thoughts. I'm pretty disappointed about it. I'm not exactly complaining that he's doing it. I guess I understand. I'm just like, I know he doesn't have to, you know? Like, if he wanted to and he put the effort in, I imagine he could redo his streak, but like, I don't know, I wish I could bring it up right now, but unfortunately Seam doesn't follow me in Bcrawl. But there's like two, he even duplicated combos, like there's 2 gargoyle fighters in a row. I'm just sitting there looking at that like, why? Poo-poo PP mans. Very well. Alright, so our teleport landed us somewhere where we really didn't want to be. We wanted to go outside of this little area, but this is working out. I don't want to be slow right now. I'm so lucky I didn't get tormented a million times. And there is another greater mummy. Regen. There we go. There's the tele we wanted. So yeah, I'm in this unfortunate situation where in order to do Tomb under the restrictions of the challenge and under the restrictions of just what we've got in terms of consumables, I kind of just have to keep burning different consumables to get out of the bad situation when it develops. Something we could do is we could bribe. Don't really want to do that until Tomb 3. I just want to save the money. Something else we could do is we could make shops and maybe go for like a potion shop and get more Lignify. Having more of that would be pretty handy, and I might end up doing that. I might end up doing that before Tomb 3. But as it stands, I have enough telly that I think I'm okay with kind of playing it close to the wire. Ah, shit. And I guess I could put on my Scarf of Clouds, but I'm not sure how useful it would be right here. You can make fog with it, for those of you who don't know, in Bcrawl. Resistant to electricity. Let's Acid Blast him. I was hoping to reduce his AC. Try again. There we go, baby. Okay, Lightning Rod. But yeah, like under an ordinary situation with no restrictions, you would see me probably on this character using silence to turn these guys off, or at least like beckoning them to me and then walking backwards. Absolutely happens all the time, Zeldust. I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to streak as well as I do if I didn't have the added pressure of doing it on Twitch. It really helps me stay focused and kind of pay attention to what I'm doing. I remember back in the day I said something like that, but I was like sort of inexact about the way that I said it. And then that Leo Littlebook guy, for the next like 4 months, said that I had admitted that my stream helps me, and that's the only reason that I was able to streak. Like, that people were giving me advice or something. Yeah, streak by committee is what he called it. And it's like, he's just like, I don't want to use the word that I actually want to use because it's probably against Twitch terms of service. Starts with an A. But like, it's like almost purposefully misinterpreting what I meant by taking the most uncharitable interpretation. Yeah, anime, that's it. Most uncharitable interpretation possible. It's like, oh, he said that! Leo's a national treasure. He's something. Oh, man. See, this is ugly. We run into 2 greater mummies in a row, and that just happens here. But it's fog. Yeah, I'll tell you out of this. Playing a bit too fast. This is mostly my fault. What? Yes. Fuck me, I was really hoping they had separated by now, but they didn't. Alright, what am I doing? These guys are speed 10. I have nothing to worry about. I just walk backwards. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Oh, that leads down. But that should lead right back down to where I started. Finest theory crafter to never win a game. I'm convinced it was just like Ultraviolet 4 with with a hat on. It was too convenient, man. Like, I'm gonna talk all this shit and I'm never gonna win a game. Come on. He just put on a funny accent and made that one video. Pretending not to be who he is, but I know what's up. Dunning-Kruger is a real thing. It is. No, I mean, I'm joking about the EV4 thing. It's just bizarre, you know. And he took the mockery of the fact that he had never won a game, but was offering, you know, endless advice, criticisms, and kind of jerkish behavior. He took that as like a challenge and almost like a badge of honor. Like, haha, see, I haven't won a game, and yet I'm so smart and I know everything. It's like, what? It borders on parody, you know. But it comes up against Poe's law, you know, where it's like the more absurd something is, the more you can't be sure if it's, you know, it could very well be real. Anyone know what happened to UV4? I don't know. He backstabbed his friends and then disappeared from the community for the most part. I don't know. He's still making videos, from what I understand. Okay, we're cruising now, just like one greater mummy at a time. The character can do that no matter how much crap they spawn, no matter how much torment they throw at me. I can pretty much be sure to out-melee them. +9 Logitong does the work. This is one of the few cases where having a two-handed weapon over a shield might actually be better. Yeah, roguelike communities are... I mean, they attract the craziest kind of people, really. Okay, I had to fog because there's a second greater mummy here. In fact, this in general is just a horde situation due to the slow from the scarabs. Oh no! There's way more crap than I'd like to fight. We're slow. We gotta burn another tele. Okay, that was not the best tele in the world, but it works. Okay, please be alone. Based. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Lamp of Fire will crush Death Scarabs, man, especially at high evocations. You wouldn't think that it would. What do you do with Etna and Orcs? Do you have a Hex Wand of some sort? Paralyze, Enslave? They die pretty quickly to ranged attacks too, so if you can just do that instead of meleeing them, that can be helpful. That's a very interesting way to put it, Rogue Shenanigans. Yeah. God, that really is true. You really are. You're locked up with these people who are telling you they're in uniforms and they're telling you that they're the wardens and they're superior to you, but really they just, you know, happen to have captured the GitHub, you know, account for whatever project. People with arbitrary power over others outside of merit. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Pretty that's a really colorful way to put it. I like that a lot, actually. Pretty accurate too. But is it you know, in the Stanford prison experiment, you could make the argument that it was like the position of fake authority that turned those people into assholes. But I think the people that I complain about on a daily basis are, you know, they got there all on their own. I think they got there all on their own, man. I don't think they needed any help. Okay. Kind of did a wacky-ass stare dance there. Boris is here. You know, I should probably look up Boris, because he may have changed in Bcrawl. He has Haunt now. No Iron Shot on Boris today. Oh, hell yeah. This is the argument that I didn't know that I needed in my Twitch chat, but now I know that I need it. Let's get this thing going. Talk about that Zimbardo. Assume every mage has on. Yeah, God, BHL really loves that haunt spell, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I personally am of the mind that really bad people are attracted to power in real life rather than the idea that the position of power turns people evil. The idea of power corrupting, I mean, I think it's more along the lines of you just have people that handle it and have people that can't. You know, and depending on your level of intelligence and your level of ambition and your level of skill and ability to kind of game the system, you might be like a sleazy tow truck driver, or you might be like an attorney or like a judge. But no matter what you are, if you're like a psychopath or something who really desires to have power over people, you're going to find some way to have power over people. It's just what they do, man. And if that comes down to like co-opting a fucking tiny roguelikes community and you know, slapping your dick on the table and saying, I'm in charge now and you guys have to, you know, just do whatever I tell you and accept whatever stupid changes I make to the game, you know, and kick people out of the community for whatever, you know, tiny little slight you imagine that they've given against you, then so be it, right? Abjuration, you say. I've never liked R of Abjuration. People, I know a lot of smart people who swear by this thing, but I never really use it. Looks like it works the same way in Bcrawl, unless you didn't change the tooltip. Player only gets aura, he doesn't get the actual Abjuration spell. Maybe it works faster in Bcrawl. You just hate Zimbardo? Okay. Didn't he, like, break all kinds of ethical rules to do that experiment? It really does seem that way, doesn't it, Rogue Shenanigans? To me, it seems like fully half of their commits are just whatever the fuck they wanted to do, and then they come up with some BS explanation afterwards, and then the other half of their commits almost seem like they are carefully crafted to just give a middle finger to the community. Alright, let's do this thing, baby. Let's bribe Branch. Okay. We're down to 10,000 gold. We'll get a whole lot more if we clear this floor. Let's call one merchant. Damn it. No potion shop. I wanted to go to the potion shop. No such luck. Probably general store. Buy the heal wounds, I guess. Well, there's a plate armor with MR+. At the point of the game where I just don't need it. There's not going to be any MR down here. Do liches? I forget. Do ancient liches spawn in Tomb 3? Oh gosh, they might. No sense in taking the risk if I don't have to. I'll trade 3 AC for this and a little bit of dexterity, or a little bit of strength. A little bit of evasion, perhaps. Still have 53 AC, 27 EV. That's pretty cool. Whoa, we have scrollitis. I'm glad I noticed that. Could you imagine if I rolled down there with scrollitis and didn't know it? What a shit show that would have been. Oh my god, you gotta be shitting me. Stop this. Okay, there we go. Just burned through most of my potions of mutation. Did I ever get comfortable with Battle Brothers? Did you feel like you solved it? I just kind of got a little bored with it. Solved it? I definitely solved the early game. I don't think you could put me in a situation in Battle Brothers where I couldn't come out of the early game. Probably more or less solved the mid game. I never on stream did any of the end game content. I don't think I solved that part. Like if you put me in what do you call it, the obelisk or whatever, Black Monolith, I probably would lose that fight unless I had like a really crack team of badasses. But I don't know. I will probably go back to it at some point. It was a fun game, perfectly good game. It's just very time consuming. But yeah, I mean, I have games saved there that I'd love to complete, actually, now that I think about it. Dagger Party, Best Party. Hey, Oren. I think Rosie McCattail is looking for you and thought you may have passed away. How you doing, buddy? Have I tried an OG rogue? No, I really haven't. Where did I first learn about DCSS? You know, I honestly don't remember. Someone told me about it. Alrighty, I've been digging around on the staircase because I'm trying to make sure that I have everything planned out right. Two lignify. Screw it, I'm just gonna go down. Okay. So the whole idea was to just kind of run to the orb, or excuse me, to the rune. Crap, we're already slow. Alright, plan B. Plan B activated. Because we already got slowed, we're just going to chill on the staircase and clear some of the stuff out. We've used no resources, really, except for some wand charges. It's no big deal. Yeah. And the bribe, of course. If I get tormented one time, I'm going to go up. I probably could fog here, actually, and I should. Actually, that's 2 greater mummies. Let's get the hell out of here. This could go bad so quickly. That was actually... Technically, I bet you that was a death possibility. Okay, try again. I see that we're getting a bit memed here. Nothing seems to be getting bribed. No torment. I'm gonna go for this. We'll cancel and blink out if need be. Oh, no lamp. Gosh, I sure wish I had a cloud wand. Was one for sale? Okay, good. I was gonna say, I hope I didn't miss out on that. Team wants money off your corpse instead. They sure do. Yeah, cloud or lamp would be really, really nice right now. Should have been focusing down the scarabs first to avoid getting slowed, but perhaps unavoidable. Let's haste real quick. I should have done that a long time ago. Just waiting for Lamp of Fire to come back. Gosh, this is a dangerous thing I'm doing here. I'm not even casting regen, dude. This is why I shouldn't do late night streams. I'll always forget, even more than usual. I don't think Dwarf Fortress is a roguelike. I mean, it's got roguelike qualities, but it's like almost like a grand strategy game in a sense. Well, not grand strategy, but you know what I'm talking about. What do you call a game like Dwarf Fortress? It should be a genre, right? Like there's other games like it, like No Moria, which is essentially a clone. But you can't really call it a grand strategy because that's a totally different genre. A city builder. See, like, okay, it's a city builder, but then you've got stuff like SimCity that doesn't really have the same mechanics, does it? It's been a while since I played SimCity, so I don't actually remember. Colony Sim? Well, see, when you say Colony Sim, I think shit like 4X games, honestly. I think of Master of Orion 2. Colony Sim would be a good name for it, though. Is that actually what it's called? Is that like an agreed upon Dwarf Fortress-like? That's pretty good, Philippe. I like that. You know what? I've made a big mistake here. Why didn't I just, MO, you know? Make the big booms. And suck down a resistance, and we could have really made this a lot easier on ourselves, couldn't we? Yeah, indirect control. I mean, like, that is certainly the, crux of the gameplay, isn't it? The fact that you don't really control anything directly, which I think is it's the thing that makes it unique and the thing that makes it interesting. Madman's piece of art. Yeah, he actually is a dwarf. You know, Toady is actually a dwarf who, you know, like a fantasy dwarf. You know, not like a short person. Like he's got the beard and everything, and he got into a strange mood like the ones in his game get into, and then he just sat down for 20 years and made Dwarf Fortress, and that's why he was so good at making it, you know, so thematic, because he actually is from that world in real life. He got isekai'd in here or something, you know. Very last Lignify potion. Oh my god. Heal wounds? No? You know, the problem with being lignified is, like, Emperor Scorpions, they do just enough damage to really ruin your day. We're going to post a petition. Oh my god, it did it to me again! It did it to me again! It gave me the old healing plus berserk special. He's a Dwemer. Aren't the Dwemer considered dwarves in Elder Scrolls? Am I wrong about that? Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed those absolutely outrageous Madman plays that I just did, because those were borderline suicidal in their recklessness. Don't try this at home. Gozag is feeling spiteful today. He really is, but that's okay because we've crushed Tomb despite his best efforts. Wow, you don't see that often. Check it out. It's a Guardian Mummy wielding a +0 club, the weapon of the ages. Have they ever really explained what happened with the Dwemer? Like what kind of magic it is that exactly, like why the whole species disappeared? BHoth buffed what now? Every humanoid is likely to wield a weapon now. Well, that's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. Like, why are they running around with nothing, you know? Hey, finally, there's a bribe. You know how I know that my bribe hasn't really gone through that much? It's because it's still white-colored, which means that almost nothing has been used. Something that kicks in up here, I guess. The Dwemer gained Chim. Realized Bethesda would own the franchise through divination magic and opened a gate to a better series in a different dimension. Yes. Any propaganda in the Elder Scrolls series? Bethesda likes to do that, as I recall. Dwemer messed with the heart of a god that made the world and literally vanished off the continent. Yeah, I know that they were doing some kind of wacky big-ass magic, and it turned on them or something. It's a cool idea. Kind of a trope in both science fiction and in fantasy. I just remember trying to play Skyrim and quitting after, like, 5 hours of gameplay because I realized every single Dwemer dungeon and basically every dungeon in the game was the same thing over and over. You just go down, you fight some stuff, and then you come out the other end. And it's all very linear, you know? It's no water temple in Skyrim from what I can remember. Nothing that really teases your brain at all. Just a straight line of enemies. Do you just acquire jewelry on Octopode? You're playing an older version that has that's the old style acquirement. It depends on how the character's going, but probably. What are you? I mean, if you're using Gozag, you get gold. If you really need a weapon, you get weapon, and otherwise you get jewelry for the most part. Book is also an option if you are a caster and you really need endgame magic that you haven't gotten yet. Huh. I need to play Star Control. I hear it's a really good series. Didn't they just get done having a big lawsuit about that? Anyway, we've fulfilled the Golden Rune obligation. I'm going to go to Abyss. I'm just going to do, until we get so injured that we want to bail out, I'm not going to farm. Honestly, I might even just go for the rune. I'm doing this because I don't quite have 10,000 gold, and I have to have 10,000 gold when I leave to pass the challenge. And I might end up using a little bit of gold on the orb run, so. I mean, yeah, it certainly sounds like you want jewelry there, Mr. Ostrom. Yeah, there was some kind of weird thing in the lawsuit where At the very end of it, they decided to do some stuff where they had to give each other honey and mead in real life. I'm not making this up. Like, one of them owns, one of them is like a beekeeper, and one of them is a brewer, and so one of the two parties has to send them their honey, and the other party has to turn that into mead and send some back. Oh no, we got berserked from the chaos. This is a bit dangerous. I can't trust anything in here, man. BHOth could have changed any of the spells, you know, so my instincts might be all wrong. I think I could just tab all that crap, you know? But who knows? At least the bandits in Skyrim aren't like Oblivion, which will rock Daedric armor and weapons while mugging you for pocket change. That sounds like fun, bro. How's our food? We got 24 rations, we're good. I've been spending most of my acquirements on rations. There's these there are these perverse incentives in Bcrawl to do that, which is kind of funny under Gozag. Because if you do the math, like I'd have to pay more for the shop to open than to just take the rations. If I were to take the gold, you know, comparatively. For example, I think I was offered like 1,300 gold versus 12 rations at one point. Well, it cost me 2,400 to open up a shop right now, so you tell me what the right thing to do is, you know? How did I figure that out? I just looked at the numbers of what was being offered to me in the acquirement. Oh, do you not know about new acquirement? New acquirement tells you what it's going to offer you. And you get to choose from a set group of things. So, like, it's like, oh, do you want 1,200 gold, or do you want this ring of protection, or do you want this many rations? And it lets you choose from a list of things like that. Okay, we got our exit portal. Let's pick up all this gold after killing this stuff. Boom. If the stuff will leave me alone for a second. Use the power of math. Wow, guys. Now this is the power of math. It's the worst TV show that's ever made. You want nothing but gold? Yeah, usually, but in Bcrawl you get punished for fighting in melee a little bit more. You get hungry hippo, so you kind of need to watch your rations in the same way that you would on a caster. It's a purposeful thing BHOth did to balance the game a little better against melee. Okay, I forgot this little elevator vault was here. We have 11,000 gold. Let's go out with a bang. And our wonderful Zot-trapped Z5. Okay, thank you for not beckoning me. Uh-oh! Hello, Brimstone Fiend. How's the AC on a Brimstone Fiend? Too good. Okie dokie. I don't have acid anymore either. I wanted to use acid wand and then scattershot him, but that's no good. Fuck it. We're doing this. The madman play. Birdemic. What about baby geniuses, bro? If you haven't seen baby geniuses, you are missing out in life. Could have died there? Probably, yeah. I mean, if he had chosen to torment a bunch. I'm not making optimal choices right now. I'm making fun choices. I was pretty likely to win that situation, though. I mean, we've got a +9 Lajatang, I still don't know how to pronounce that. And just really high fighting and staves. I mean, oh, slow versus the hasted lich. Yeah, so I was only attacking, so he could have only gotten 2 attacks on me. So not really. Technically, yeah. If he was the Crystal Spear Lich and he Crystal Speared me twice, no, he could only have LCS twice. Because look, if I'm not slow, I'm attacking for 0.6. Oh, when I was running away. No, wasn't I always too far away from him for him to do an LCS? LCS has a really short range. I could be playing too fast, I'm not actually sure. So anybody know a DCSS fork that has new vaults, gods, and other good things, plus Old Abyss. Old Abyss. The new one with floors and exit spawning due to PC killing unless it's not chaotic enough. So you want the one that was only one floor only? Is that what you're saying? I haven't played too much Bcrawl, but that sounds like it might have what you want. I don't have any idea if it has the Abyss thing or not, but I know that it has new gods and just really wild and crazy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna drink a might potion real quick. I'm just gonna crash through all this crap. Let's drink Agi as well. Oh, am I getting crushed? Maybe I'm getting crushed. Maybe I can't kill things as quickly as I was hoping. Even with a might potion. Come on, bruh. It's amazing. I don't have to swap items to not be paralyzed by a Sphinx. Oh, there's no pies in Bcrawl. Trust me, I would have taken that fight a whole lot differently if this was mainline guys. Mainline clowns. Well, actually, Rogue Shenanigans, I don't know if you caught the beginning of this game, but, like, hand to God, I didn't really have any terribly usable MR at all, except for robes and stuff, which I wasn't about to wear on a non-streak game. Is like, I didn't have any MR items until about after I did Slime. So I had to survive Golden Eyes with just human MR, you know, from my levels. It's really cruel of the game, kind of. Although, check this out. You might find this interesting. GoldenEye. In Bcrawl, notice how they have teleport self now. So BHOth actually made them a little bit less cruel because they will eventually go away, which means that you won't just get perma-confused by them, like what happens in mainline. It's really lame. What are my stats now? 54 AC, 29 EV, 28 strength, 22 dex. I would make pies, you know, I'm actually okay with pies for the most part, except for the fact that they polymorph you, because it's just so, I don't know, I've explained this before, but I don't think I could really say it enough times, because it's just so dumb. The fact that there's such a force multiplier in this branch that, you know, if you freaking get pied, if you get teleported and then pied on the same turn they get teleported, and then there's a lich around, you get paralyzed, that means, you know, you're a bat, right? So your MR's gone, you're gonna get paralyzed very easily, unless you happen to have like a +3 MR amulet on, because that's the only slot bats have. Once you're paralyzed, you have 0 AC, 0 EV, so, I mean, you've got like 5 to 7 turns, or however many turns it is, where you're just getting hammered on at full damage, you know? And that's why it's just so dumb that Clown Pie can polymorph you. It's not an MR check, it's not a nothing check, really, it just happens, unless you have a shield. And I don't think that DCSS needed another reason to always wear shields. I mean, before, it was very inadvisable not to wear a shield. Now it's just like batshit crazy not to wear a shield, unless you just don't care about winning. Yeah, that's absolutely what happens, Zeldest. I mean, polymorph is such a brutal effect, because it just kind of takes away all your defenses for the most part. You know? I don't mind the polymorph effect existing. I mind it being a stupid thing that happens with no counterplay. And you might say, well, gee, Malcolm, you know, you walk into the clown and then you decide, oh, there's a clown on the screen, and now I'm going to counterplay the thing that could happen, just like you do with Para. But the problem is that, you know, Ebering's dumbass explore traps exist in this game where you can just get teleported right into them. You know, or they could decide to pie you right as you walk into them, and then a lich walks in from off screen. It's just like brutal, man. Counterplay is playing a fork, yeah. The counterplay is extracting yourself from the Skinner box that is mainline DCSS. Yeah, Bcrawl, I haven't played it, but a friend of mine was sending me screenshots from it a while back, and it looked a little bit rough around the edges in terms of design. It was clear that they had kind of rushed out some of the tiles and stuff like that, and some of the gods looked just like a little bit wacky, but it looked really entertaining in the same way that Bcrawl does. Like, it looked like it was made with love, you know, and that somebody really wanted to create something interesting that was a sort of a real big twist on mainline DCSS. So I'd like to try. I'd like to try it at some point. This is my new gear that I picked up. Yeah. So at some point I found this plate armor. I paid 1,500 gold for it. I decided to forego some AC in order to get some MR, which is really, really good. Plus the 7 int is not hurting me. Neither is the 5 dex. Otherwise, our gear really hasn't changed much since the second stream. At some point we got a Ring of Pro Magic, which is really important. But yeah, the stuff is pretty much all the exact same from before. I rebranded the Longitime from Flame to Slice, I guess. Right, let's use that trick. Have I fulfilled all the parts of the challenge, by the way? Where's my MR plus? Yeah, man, plus 5 boots with a resist and 6 int. Pretty good. Well, we've got 1 from plate armor. We've got 1 from the ring. And from 27 levels of human, yeah, we get plus 2. But it's on the low side. So, you know, you can have 4 pips of MR, and you can be totally immune to an Ancient Lich's stuff. Or you can have 4 pips of MR, and you can not be immune. You'll notice we're not immune to his MR targeting stuff. And the reason is because we have a low amount. Don't trust the pips. It's not, you know, 4 pips is not equal to 4 pips, so to speak. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns we wait. Grab the orb. No problem, Nani Badger. Okay, remember, these teletraps don't actually teleport you. Oh yeah, it's the orb effect that makes it blink. I swear, he really should just make those blink traps. You know, just like rename them if they spawn in Zot. I get that he was trying to go for an elegant code solution there, but I don't think it was a good idea personally. Oh, fuck you! Fuck you! Okay. Well, this happened. And I'm in the wacky avatar of Lagonu vault. The Zot trap just sent me here. They have Malign Gateway. That's a cool tile, by the way. Check it out. I'm pressing escape. Look at the little glow. That is some old school. I don't know. I like that. I like the way that looks. I'm easily impressed, I guess. But that little animation is just subtle. Subtle but cool. Oh, I dropped my flying potions. And I don't have any flying stuff. Let's just read Telly, I guess. Maybe I'll read Blink real quick. Uncontrolled, that's fine. I do that again. Yeah, I don't think this is an... No, this is a rune chamber. You know what? Just for style points, we're gonna read Telly again to... Wait a minute. That's weird. Also, we have a message. Hope it's something good. Big fan. Just finished watching your maybe beginner series. Awesome. I'm streaming right now if you'd care to join. No, I don't have the Abyss rune. Anyway, I was saying that I read Telly again to stop the Telly so we could pick it up real quick, and I guess I must have already Tellied. Yes, Mazanaka. It's usually one of the two. It's usually not somewhere in between. Anyway, yeah, I'm picking up the rune. I don't have to, but I figure I might as well. And by the way, the reason I know for sure this is a rune vault, even though I didn't see the abyssal rune, is because of these floor tiles. Ooh, motherfucker. There we go. Alright, I'll burn my last Telly. Well, actually, I have 2 more. I don't want to walk past this, These tentacles are actually incredibly dangerous to be in melee with, because they can just paralyze you immediately. Alright, what now? Oh, cool. We are on Abyss 4. I'll just go down. Sweet, there's an exit. Oh! You've got to be shitting me. So when you... I didn't know this. When you walk onto a Zot trap, if it abysses you, you end up on the tile before you stepped on it. And we get a nice little tentacle. Alright, let's bail, man. Fuck this, man. Yeah, but yeah, don't, if you get the Malign Gateway spell, which used to be really good and is still fairly strong, just much less interesting and less powerful than it used to be because it doesn't fight out of line of sight anymore. If you get it, bear in mind it will go hostile eventually, or if you're fighting against it for some reason and have to fight a hostile one. Don't be in melee with it, you will die. They hit like a truck. And they can paralyze you. That chaos effect. Uh-oh. Oh, it's a wonderful spell for Spriggan. I go for it every time I can if I'm playing a Spriggan. Okay. I really didn't want this guy to show up while I was already hurt. Let's cast Regen. I have no Lignify. How's his AC? 3 pips. It's too much for Scattershot. Okay, we're just going to duke it out and hope we don't get tormented too much. With our boys helping us. Hell yeah. Nope, it's a Shadow Fiend. I refuse to call it by that dumb name. Hello. Oh boy. It's a Quicksilver Bolt. Quicksilver Bolt Panlord with Summon Greater Demon. And Summon Dragon. Thanks for the follow, Toads47. Appreciate that, man. Why has he got no icons? What are you saying? Oh, the screen, the XV screen has a bug in it right now where sometimes that happens. I think it always happens when he's off screen, I guess. Check this out. Now that I can see him. Oh. I don't know. This was happening off and on earlier. I think it has something to do with him adding damage to it. Okay, I didn't quite get away. It's possible he has too many spells, yeah. Let's try for some shenanigans here. Didn't work. Okay, that's fine. Let's go up. Just kidding! We got shoved off. I'm not exactly sure how. It must be the dragon. Yep, the dragon tramples you. Okay. Very last tally. This is actually kind of ugly. And we only have 2 charges of digging left. Have half a mind to add the actual Z into the game just to spite whoever made that decision. What do you mean? Like something that's more accurate to what that actually is? Okay, check it out. I'm gonna read Fog. Did it mutate me at all? Yeah, it sure did. My AC's all kind of messed up. Okay, that'll do. That's better. I'm still corroded -8 though. Come on, kick in, Telly. Here we go. Let's go up. Let's drink regen. Oh, piss. I've memed myself. I can't get out here. This is the teleporter, or this is the elevator thing. I have to get over here. All right, that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna rest a bit to get that corrosion off. We're gonna drink haste. This is not the easiest orb run that I've had. We're just gonna haste away. I am playing a bit stupid though, to be fair. Isn't that comical when that happens? I'm sure you guys have had that happen where you accidentally go into an elevator vault. You're like, yeah, I've finally gotten away from this horrible threat. Whoops. Whoops. Alright, here we go. Easy mode activated. So where the panlords just don't spawn for a long time. Which does happen. Gotta kill this guy, he'll be able to chase me. Based. I'm a genius. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good stuff. No, it was a fun game, man. Let's take a look at the character real quick before we ascend. 240 HP is pretty good to end the game on as a human. I mean, goddamn. Amazing defenses. Great equipment. I mean, we got pretty lucky on some of this stuff. The MR was the big challenge this game, and the fact that we had actual conducts that we had to follow. Should always be 1 or 2 random panlords guarding the exit. Yeah, like a final boss, that'd be kind of cool. Wow, we picked up an artifact hand crossbow that I didn't even notice. Yeah, and we left with over 10,000 gold, so we won the Joseph Crawl cosplay challenge. Pretty good stuff, man. Long game, 7 hours, wow. Happens sometimes, though. Oh, it was part of the cosplay, yeah. Hey, look, it's like two of my bros. We got Doesn't and Artagus here. Doesn't playing a mummy fire elementalist. The madman. And there's Artagus again. He likes forks a lot. And good on him. Yeah, that's PH Oth. Oh, Philippe, you're Abyss Alpha. That's everybody. I know everybody in here then. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, the run was going to take... It wasn't exactly an OTAB run. I mean, it was a strong character for sure, but if I had just OTAB'd a ton like I normally do with characters I've built to be unstoppable, I probably would have lost, because it's just like he didn't have a shield is the biggest thing, and the lack of MR would have definitely punished me. And I think that Bcrawl in general just kind of punishes you harder than mainline for OTABing a lot, which is a good thing probably. It makes games last a little bit longer, but it also keeps them somewhat from becoming a sort of brain dead loop once you've built a particularly strong character. Anyway, yeah, that is going to be it for the stream. Yeah, humans are fragile, man. It's kind of funny to me. It's kind of funny to me that humans in this game are so, I don't want to say bad, but they are not powerhouses, that's for sure. You gotta find a way to toughen them up, you know. Anyway, that's going to be it for the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I am signing out. Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.